How's it, chums? Welcome back. Talking about the DLC weapons that we got. While we have spoken about the Ram 7 in the past before, and I've expressed my distaste for it, I have found that in Warzone, it chews through armor and chews through enemies quite quickly. This little loadout is great for short to medium encounters. FTAC compact barrel, Cronin Elite optic, ultralight hollow stock, stippled grip tape, and the Ranger foregrip. Just to rein it in, bring it under control. Alternatively, this loadout that I've found works really well in Warzone. Muzzle brake, compact barrel, Ranger foregrip, 50 round mags, and stippled grip tape give you a little bit better ADS and sprint to fire speed. The Grau really needs no introduction, and I'm not actually sure that it even needs any more blueprints, but this one works really well. It's the 20.8 inch Nexus barrel, the TAC laser, the Cronin C480 Pro optic, 50 round mags, and the Cronin Sniper Elite. The reason for the 50 round mags and not the 60 round mags is just that there's a little bit of a weight penalty which messes with your ADS and your recoil on the bigger magazine. Alternatively, this is still the loadout that I run for this gun. Monolithic suppressor, Archangel barrel, Cronin Shock 2 underbarrel, Cronin Sniper Elite rear grip, and the FSS Blackjack stock. This gun has no recoil. You don't need an optic for it. You can shoot across the map. People will accuse you of aimbot. Enjoy the comments. The CR56 AMAX has been one of the most fun weapons that I have played with in the last couple months in this game. This is one of the loadouts. Monolithic suppressor, Zodiac barrel, FTAC Hunter stock, Commando foregrip, and the XRK CR56 stippled wrap. Makes this gun a pleasure to control, quite sturdy, quite stable, a little bit slow, but it's got a good range on it as well. For multiplayer, this loadout has been the one that I have run with the longest. Monolithic suppressor, the 8.3 inch intruder barrel, no stock, XRK stippled wrap, and the Ranger foregrip. It's a wild gun, but this loadout seems to rein in the hipfire and give you a gun that's super aggressive. It's quite easily one of the best ARs in the set. With the factory 330mm barrel, LP 945 mini reflex, folded stock, stippled grip tape, and the Merc foregrip, it sort of lies halfway between the AK and the CR56 AMAX. It's got the power of the AK, it's wild like the AK, but it's got the control of the CR56 AMAX as well. Alternatively, a really long range version of this gun. You run the AN94 factory X 438mm barrel, Cronin LP 945 mini reflex, AN94 factory heavy stock, rubberized grip tape, and the Ranger foregrip. I found that the iron sights for this gun were super distracting. They're very constrictive, they block out a lot when you're looking down, so I put the optic on. You can put any optic you like on. The VLK 3 also works for me really well. My optic of choice is the Cronin LP 945 because I feel like it has the least sway of all of them. I found a blueprint very similar to this in Warzone, and it's quite solid. It does the trick. Medium to short range interactions, monolithic suppressor, TAC laser, LP 945 mini reflex optic, sleight of hand, and the Merc foregrip. It's a decent loadout, and it's great for Warzone as carrying it as a secondary weapon. I wouldn't run this, though, as a primary weapon. Alternatively, this loadout might be a great one to carry as a primary weapon. Muzzle brake, poly barrel, Ranger foregrip, 45 round mags, and the FTAC G5 XO give you a better sprint to fire and ADS time. It is one of those SMGs, though, that seems to have quite a wild recoil, short to medium range, or as a secondary weapon it's quite good. But I think that this loadout performs really well if it's the only thing you've got on you as well. The Fennec for me is such a bizarre weapon because it chews through ammo quicker than anything else. That being said, if you're running this as a secondary weapon and you get into a tight spot, you'll be chewing through enemies as well. So this loadout with the ZLR Saber, Merc foregrip, stippled grip tape, sleight of hand, and the TAC laser gets the gun up quicker so you can start shooting quicker. And that's really what you want. The Merc foregrip is going to give you a little bit better hipfire as well, and that's just going to help in those tight corners and those tight spaces when you're having confrontations with other players. Just try and be aware of your ammo because you go through a clip quicker than you can blink. As an alternative, this loadout also works really well. It gets the gun up quickly and has a lot of control of the recoil and distance and range that you can do damage with. It's the ZLR 16-inch Apex barrel, the Cronin LP 945 mini reflex sight, Forge Tac CQS stock, sleight of hand, and the Ranger foregrip. The reason that I've forgone the larger ammunition clips is because it slows your gun down quite a bit. Quite possibly the halfway point between the Fennec and the Striker 945. This loadout is the one that Matt gave to me, so shout out Matt. It's the FSS Nightshade barrel with the built-in silencer, LP945 mini reflex sight. Again, the iron sights of this weapon were so distracting and so constrictive that I just had to put an optic onto this one. The ISO collapsible stock just increases your mobility, makes you a little bit quicker with this gun. 30 round mags and the Ranger foregrip, just to bring it all together. Alternatively, I found that this loadout also worked really well. Muzzle brake, Forged Tac Stalker stock, the F-Tac Elite ISO grip, 30 round mags, and the Ranger foregrip. It makes the gun a little bit more aggressive. It gives you a little bit more ammo, so it does slow you down a little bit. That being said though, this loadout does perforate players really quickly. This little shotgun still confounds me, and I'm not entirely sure what to be doing with it. I have found that this loadout works quite nicely though. Muzzle brake, 16-inch Warlord barrel, the XRK race grip, pump grip, 12 round mags, and stippled grip tape. All of this is aimed at getting the gun up quicker. It is quite a deadly gun at close quarters, but that seems to be the end of it for me. I don't really find that I'm using this gun when I have longer range engagements to play, so shipment is probably the best place you could play with this. Alternatively, this loadout works really well at giving you a tighter spread and a little bit more damage range. Muzzle choke, the VLK ZAR barrel, the FSS close quarters stock to get the gun up, ADS speed a little bit quicker, 12 round mags, and the XRK race grip, pump grip. I still am unsure about this gun. If I'm pressed, I'll pick it up in Warzone, but I can't see a reason to use it over some of the other LMGs that have come into the game and are such strong contenders. Muzzle brake, tac laser, Ranger foregrip, stippled grip tape, and sleight of hand make this quite a beast if you're going to come face to face with somebody else. This loadout is modeled a little bit on the Soul of the Beast loadout that I kept picking up in Warzone, and I found that just with a few modifications it really reined it in and brought it under control for me. Muzzle brake, the Solo Zero K498 4x integral optic, the XRK Axis stock, 30 round mags, and the Ranger foregrip. You sort of modify the gun to be more of an assault rifle. This loadout does work though. It makes it a little bit more lighter, and like I said, turns it into more of an assault rifle than an LMG. In Warzone, there's this really bright pink blueprint for this gun. It's got the XRK Summit 26.8 inch barrel, the VLK 3x optic, the Forged Tac Stalker stock, rubberized grip tape, and the bipod. This really is a loadout for crouching or for mounting up on something, but with the addition of the VLK 3x optic and the Forged Tac Stalker stock, you're going to be able to crouch and get good shots with it as well. If your friends call you Rambo, this is the loadout you're using on the Bruen. The Bruen 18-inch para barrel, Cronin LP945 mini reflex optic, skeleton stock, stippled grip tape, and 60 round mags. Makes it quicker to reload, quicker to move, quicker to fire out of sprinting. You're a one-man army. You're probably the type of person that plays quads by yourself. I haven't seen a lot of people use the crossbow in Warzone. It's actually a lot of fun, and you can have a lot of fun with it, even in multiplayer. 28 strand cable, XRK Thunder 200-pound arms, the XRK mid-track 4x scope optic, Forged Tac Apex stock, and sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is so important with the crossbow because you've got to try and reload so much and so much quicker if you are missing a shot, or especially if there's more than one opponent. Even if you get that one shot and it's a headshot and the dude's down and is done, you've got to try and reload to take out the next dude or the next two dudes or the next squad if you're being third-partied. So that's why sleight of hand is so important on these loadouts. Alternatively, this loadout gives you a little bit more control over the gun and also gives you an ADS perk. It's the XRK Thunder 200-pound arms, the AMR reflex optic, Forged Tac speed track stock, sleight of hand, and the XRK Talon underbarrel, which gives you a little bit more accuracy on this loadout. The SKS is such a wild marksman rifle to me. It took me such a long time to get into it. This loadout with a monolithic suppressor, 16-inch FSS para barrel, tac laser, Viper reflex sight, and commando foregrip, all aimed at making the gun quicker to ADS, quicker out of sprint, and just a lot more aggressive in those medium to short range encounters that you might have in Warzone. Alternatively, this loadout makes the gun so long that you can't even see the barrel anymore. F-Tac landmark barrel, tac laser, the PU scope, F-Tac Hunter Scout stock, which really gives you a lot of control over the gun, and the commando foregrip just to rein it in. The PU scope optic is going to give you a little bit more range with this loadout. The commando foregrip is going to give you a little bit more stability and control over the weapon. Most recently in Warzone, I found that a lot of times I'm being sniped with what I think are thermite grenades. It's actually this weapon destroying my helicopters. F-Tac 448 dictator barrel, tac laser, Cronin C480 Pro optic, XRK Mastodon stock, and the stippled grip tape to give you ADS and sprint to fire speed with this weapon, it's still ridiculous. It still has crazy recoil. This just makes it a little bit more aggressive. And then there's this Rytec AMR suppressor muzzle, FTAC 7 straight barrel, Stovall tack wrap stock, stippled grip tape, and the thermite rounds. This loadout is great if what you want to do is attack players in vehicles. It's still a slow weapon, it's still quite a wild weapon, but the stippled grip tape is going to give you a better ADS and sprint to fire speed, and the long barrel is going to give you a lot more range while the suppressor keeps you hidden. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. Have fun. Stay frosty.